Alright, so these are my dilemmas. This one not so much. I wanna, well, definitely gonna lollipop her, but yeah, okay. Cause see, she has flowers already, and that's where I want the energy to go. Matter of fact, I think I should mulch her. I was just about to mulch several things, this cucumber included. I just had to, because I just pulled a couple of maras out on either side. I wanted them to stay, but they were becoming trees, and my cucumber needs her space. And I'm kind of concerned that they took up all the nutrients that I put in when I buried my bananas. It's growing up very nice and beefy. I like that I get to keep an eye on it. Look at that meaty purslane. Yes. Purslane is the only crop that when I harvest it in its bowl of water, I don't reintroduce that water back into my soil, because they are a weed after all. As you can see, I didn't plant any of this up, unless I did, but that's a long story. Anyway, I didn't plant any of this, and so since it seeds itself on this type of level, once I harvest it, I try to harvest a whole patch up by the entire root. I immediately take it indoors and run water over the sink and disposal and clean it that way immediately, because again, I want whatever bugs to go directly down the drain, but I also don't want to potentially reintroduce any more purslane roots anywhere else out here once I've harvested them. This weekend, I'll probably do a full harvest of everything out here. Right now, I have all I can handle. And y'all know me, I like using fresh harvested, so I try to harvest only as much as we're going to use. And then when I harvest a large amount, then I just put those in the freezer. I'm still testing what I keep saying I'm testing what they'll taste like after they've been frozen, and I still haven't done that. Why? I've been saying this shit for a year. I'm gonna put the ones that I have in there in the doggone freezer, and then I'm gonna sprinkle it on dinner tonight and see if there's anything unpleasant about enjoying them in that form after having been frozen and stored. This is my dilemma here, because I lollipopped her plenty. This is a branch that I could get rid of without guilt because it has a flower yet, but that may not be the case tomorrow. You know what I mean? See, the flowering branch was the branch above this one, so this one hadn't started branching yet, which gave me more courage to trim her back. Okay, I feel better. Sugar beet leaf, and handle the business of this grass here. Handle that business there, like so. So I'm fairly proud of myself. I just did a really small harvest of greens, and I'm pretty proud of myself. I just put them all in a bowl, right? Because I'm about to make some lunch. But it occurred to me, well, I'm pretty proud of myself because it occurred to me that at this stage, I can just throw them all in a bowl, and I know what's what. I have my Swiss chard. It's my red beet green. This is sugar beet greens. And this is spinach, which I'm very thankful to have. Very few leaves, but I'm very thankful to have because I finally found a slow bolt variety that produces very sizable leaves and is resistant to, really? Hopefully I don't have to do this, use this other take, but I have my other recording going in portrait. But anyway, I was basically saying I was proud of myself because I can tell the greens apart. I could just harvest them all in a bowl for a quick meal, and I can look at them and tell them apart. And spinach, which I was mentioning that I'm very thankful to have, because it produces sizable leaves, and it is as promoted to be. It is slow bolt. I haven't seen one solitary bolt. It's been in the high 80s and 90s for going on 2 weeks now. So I'm glad to see it. Now, one, I got scared and I pulled it just because I wasn't getting as many leaves. And I also started harvesting it very, very young because it is a cut and come again crop. And even though we kind of throw that terminology out there, we sometimes people don't exercise it except when considering beans and peas. We all know pick the more, go ahead and pick early, because the more the pick, the more you get. Same thing with greens, except they also, you also get larger produce. At any rate, I'm going to finish this coffee and step outside because I wanted to do a quick harvest that is not going to be a part of this video, but it is going to be a part of this video. Okay, so we're about to harvest that bed of purslane. For the record, purslane is the only thing that I harvest with the roots and the soil that surrounds those roots. Take it indoors before rinsing it off outside. Let me rephrase that because I made that more complicated than it should be. Purslane is the only thing that I don't rinse off. Well, that's kind of not true either, because I do jet spray it with the jet sprayer first. But purslane is basically everything gets dunked and rinsed off and cleaned in water before it goes inside, so that I avoid taking insects from out here into the house. However, purslane is the only thing when I harvest, I get the roots and the soil surrounding the roots, and I put them in that bowl of water like I do everything else. But I don't pour that water back into, I don't introduce that water from those roots and soil back into my garden in any capacity, because it is a weed, and it's a weed as we have been conditioned to believe, but it grows too much and too fast for me not to want to be able to control it. Things that grow too much and too fast, I want to be able to utilize the benefits. So I have a full bed here of purslane popping up everywhere, and they're nice and thick, but I know that some of them are going to start budding up soon, and I can't have it taken over the bed. I still need to get her out of here. It's hard for me, y'all. It's hard for me. There's Walona down there. She gets quite a bit of shade down there with Rose. And Rose enjoys that shade because she is tropical, so not too much heat, even though she can take a drought and doesn't mind heat. I have those onions in the front there that I harvested them just now, and cut them and froze, and cut them and refrigerated them, so they're just ready to put on dinner. And there is Kimberly. She's doing great. I need to get the shears and lollipop her. These are green beans. They're about to flower, so I'm excited for that. And here's Maureen, happy, purple. All these are all my purple tree collards. Yeah, it's pretty easy to jet spray all these. I just do them all together, and I do the top parts that I have foliage coming off of them. And pasta onion. Shout out to Super Sly Fox. They're just the bunching onions, although I have no problem from the bunching onions. In fact, I harvested this one yet again. These things are on their 10th regrow or some shit. I don't know, but I'm not mad because I'm using and eating the food. Here are my sales that for the most part failed this year. So I had a lot of nerve teaching y'all how to do it. I should have just waited till it was hot outside, maybe even started them inside in the cells, and then brought them out, acclimated them to the outdoors, like everyone does. See, I don't just be always being sarcastic when I say I don't know, so don't listen to me. Listen to who you trust. If that happens to be me and you benefited, then God has blessed you. 2 peppers. This one's orange. These are mini sweet peppers. I have one orange and one yellow. I have plenty of those seeds, so those peppers didn't come up until it was hot enough to come up because peppers don't play that bullshit. I don't know if y'all knew. I'm trying to drench my oregano because it died. I told y'all I'm trash with oregano. From seed. Somebody told me to give myself some credit because they have seen me grow amazing oregano, and I have. It just wasn't from seed, child. I'll be 3-fingering that hoe. Here's my privy cube. I'm gonna mulch her. She's just now popped up and she's ready to go to town. So I'm gonna mulch her. Here are these, what are these? Tom Thumb. I planted 2 more here, one here and one here. They still didn't come up. This is Joshare doing the ever loving most, and I'm not mad at her for it. I do need to cut off a couple of the side branches. This one, I think I want to cut off altogether, but not this year. I'll wait till the end of the season. Yeah, I think I'll probably chop her down to like 3 feet at the end of the season. Kimberly is happy, but I only see the one fruit. Explain that to me, y'all, because I can't. Now, there's a million flowers. Who's to say they don't have fruit in them? I don't know if I think they do. But meanwhile, I am going to come. I really want to manually just take a flower and kiss everything. I think I'm going to do that. Let me get one of these flowers and kiss everything that's open. I should have done my old method and got a little paintbrush, a little makeup brush, but I didn't. So, a couple more string beans up there. All the beans are ready to flower. All the beans on the deck are ready to flower. Again, this is the bed we're going to harvest all of this purslane from. We're going to put it in a bowl of water, roots and soil that surrounds the roots. And we're gonna run inside and take it straight to the sink because that's where we want that invasive root contaminated water to go, straight down the, wonder what got a hold of that. Now, when I do see other people's amaras, they do seem to take on a little damage. Not too much, but they do seem to take on a little damage. They take on more damage than I noticed with my green, with Callie. But to be fair, I've noticed people's Callies infected with disease that I can't relate to, cause my Callie be sturdy as hell. She's resistant to intruders, so. I don't know what to make of it. Here's Sunny, thriving. I can't wait for her to do her thing. I'm gonna come out in a while and trim her foliage down again so that the energy get concentrated on the fruit. Are they blushing? Maybe a little. More string beans, purple sprouting broccoli. I'm now having to jet spray her every single day. Every day. Here's Bina. Hey girl, hey. She's doing exactly what she's supposed to be doing. It's my star girl here. I smell her now. She smells marvelous. Like lemon heads candy. These are the 2 amara I put over here yesterday. This one's standing. I buried this deep enough to stand on her own. She's still struggling to get established. She'll be fine now. Purple tree collards, doing well. The leaves are just smaller than I would like for them to be. And there's Esther. And these are JV. That's Cher doing what she do. Let's come over here, son. Whew. We're gonna come over in the shade. Yes. Nice. I could do videos from this side. Have my carrots around here. I meant to grow them further apart, But they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Going around the perimeter. My okra are doing well. I have 4 of them. This one that latched late. And I have this one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I have another sugar beet in the middle of them. I wanted to put a couple of orage up in the front. It's moringa. I might do a little micro harvest on that just to encourage upward growth. There's crimberly over there and crimberly over there. 3 chard, 1 chard here, chard there, chard down there. And this is the red chard because I was getting a little color. I have a mara here, 2 more sugar beets here. Sugar beets might replace all the chard. I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna lollipop all my tomatoes and do a little harvest on the moringas for the same purpose. Pull as many of these grass stalks as possible. Here's my muddy little harvest. And that's what it looks like with roots and soil and all. And it's just gonna go directly underneath the running faucet in the kitchen so that any bugs that might be in the soil or roots go straight down the drain. Meanwhile, I'll show you how productive I've been today. I did some amazing weeding like I've never done before in my life. Anyway, this is my starter table. It has a bunch of stuff on it. I went ahead and pulled my opal basil and planted it in its final pot, which I should have done with the oregano that's dying now, but hopefully it'll come back. I don't know, maybe it will, maybe it won't. I harvested these bunch of onions once again. I'm going to harvest this. Let me do it now, because I have been good about keeping my word. Yeah. All the water. Thought I had the other one. I took it inside because I'm a good girl and I did what I was supposed to do. This I went ahead and harvested from the cucumber bed. As you can see, it looks very neat and cared for because I am manicured because I did, like I said, I did a lot. Here's my Floridate. I have planted 3. All 3 seeds came up. I put 1 in the well bed and I kept the other 2 in this pot planter because I don't have the guts to thin. But you're going to be proud of me because look at what I'm doing here. Oh yes, I did. And look, there's another one in there. And I'll show you who she is shortly. In fact, I'm going to take this out and just replant it in the center. I'm going to mulch Esther. Esther wants her soil settles. And these other things are start, so they have no need for mulching. These, I might play around with the arrangement of this planter. We got Wallona down there. Everything's mulched and grown. Wallona, rose, and crimberly. String beans. I got Maureen mulch right here. She's happy to be mulched. Maureen here also mulched. But she could use a little drink, although you know they can stand a drought. My cucumber thriving now. Can I say thriving when it's that small? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. When she makes this much progress from one day to the next, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Here's my Tom Thumb. These 2 just refuse to come up, so I'm gonna plant 2 more. I'm gonna keep planting them till they come up. Maybe I should plant them in individual cells and then plant the cells in here. I don't know. Let's see. There's just share, string beans, crimberly, This thing gets bigger and bigger every day. I manually pollinated a few of the other flowers because there's no reason that this should be the only fruit I see on her. See my salad bed, y'all? It's not a bunch of voluptuous leaves popping off here, but I got my buttercrunch, a couple of buttercrunch replanted. All these spinach are doing well. None of them are bolting, although this one looks like it wants to, so I might replace it just for shits and giggles. You'll see all of the purslane that was popping up all throughout this bed is gone. I pulled it up, root and soil, because I have no doubt that more will be popping up in the bed, of course. My 4 string beans on each of these ends. 2 string beans on each of these ends for a total of 4. Have a couple of collards back here. I do want to grow more collards, but I need to grow those. I need to grow my brassicas where I can keep an eye on them, because I like to keep them jet sprayed with water to control cabbage moths organically. Yeah, so here's my bed. All my spinach might be replaced with sugar beet greens, depending on how they cook up. We'll see. I have no more need for Swiss chard in my life. Yeah. You heard it here first. I just wish there was a red variety of sugar beet. And I know what you're gonna say. There's the red beets. But those leaves don't taste like sugar beet leaves. I said what I said. And my carrots around the perimeter of the bed, coming along nicely. So you know there's some action happening in the roots here. They're actually really happy too. These carrots, very happy. This is ready for a good harvest, and I'm gonna do just that pretty soon. Might just harvest 2 stalks. Purple sprouting broccoli. Still no stalks yet. String beans. Willona, I need to just stick her sister in the soil with her and let her come up on her own, because the starter system is not popping off. Put Amara here, surrounded by her sister. I actually didn't put anything right here because I'm low-key leaving a path to get to the to get to the JB peppers at the end of the season. I want to be able to get in there and turn around without the stalks going up my skirt. Tree collards. I'm actually going to take those out and put in a tip cutting, because I want the height from the tip cutting. And the purple tree collards. Callaloo, doing well. I'm not sure what this is. I feel like I put bok choy in here. I know that I also put string beans along the edges here, but none of them are coming up, so it's whatever. You can see I did a hell of a weeding job here. Took up all the weeds. All the weeds. Except maybe these little ones like these. I like to do it right after I water so that they'll come up root and all. I don't break my back to do it in general, because the birds are just going to plant more seeds over here no matter what. But I do like to do a detailed weeding at least twice throughout the season. I was considering mulching this bed this year, but just like with the other bed, I want the freedom to dig something completely out and replace it with something completely new. Not that I can't do that with mulch being in here, but since I grow so many different things and during different sequences, and I transition maybe from a summer to a winter or cold crop, I want the flexibility to be able to do that and to dig out all the soil around whatever I'm replacing and replace it with fresh soil as well. And carrots, happy as they want to be around here. Little verbena. And while I'm here, go ahead and force a little micro harvest of the moringa. I'm kind of also leaving this space open so that I can lean in and harvest from this teepee trellis. So everything is beautiful. No weeds allowed. I'm gonna also harvest some of the spinach because, as I've mentioned, the more you harvest, see how I harvested some from this yesterday, and the returning leaves, the replaced leaves to replace it are already more voluptuous. I don't know if you can tell.